is Sean from Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Okay, complaint here was no cool. Arrived here the other day. There was no power going to the compressor. Diagnosed the main electronic control is bad. So we to replace it, we have to get to the back of the unit. We've already put cardboard underneath the feet and the rollers on here, so that way we don't damage the floor in any way. So now we're going to pull it out, make sure that we don't damage the water line in doing so, and then so we can get to the back and get to that main control. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, since I made sure the water line wasn't going to become damaged, I have enough slack. I'm just going to rotate it so that way I can fit behind here and we can access our components. So I need to access my control. It's located behind here. In order to access it, I'm going to have to remove this panel. Now I've already taken the, unplugged the unit, that way there's no risk of shock, so that's done. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this section of the panel and go from there. Alright. I have some 1/4-inch screws here that are holding everything together. Alright, so we have it up and over and out. This is where our control is in here. So, now what's still good? What's holding this, but there's a tab at the bottom. So I'm just going to press the tab down slightly, and then the whole thing will slide out. It fits in like a little slot. So that's what I'm going to do now. Go ahead and press down on the tab, and then pull it and slide it out. Just like that. So here's our control in here. Now we see here we have our 3 wiring harnesses. They're different sizes. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those now, just to make it easier to work on. Press on the tab and pull them out. They're all the same with the tab. And then this fits in this little slot here for the strain relief. Just going to pull it out. Now we have our control separate. There are 2 Phillips screws here that I'm going to have to remove to take the cover off and then remove the computer. So that's what I'm going to do now. Go ahead and take out my screw. Screws out, this little cover will slide up and off. So remove that. Now we have access to our electronics. And as far as that goes, there's nothing holding it in place. I'm just going to kind of turn it upside down and remove it. Alright, so I have our new control here. I'm just going to go ahead and open the box. So we have nice bubble wrap here. Nice electrostatic bag with our new control in. So we're just going to set to the side because I know that there's paperwork in the box. And basically it's our high voltage board kit. That's what it's telling us. It's telling us what to do. When we replace this, we have to reprogram the other electronics to work appropriately with this. And it goes through step-by-steps on how to program that. And then if you feel like you want to learn, you have it in another language here, so you become bilingual. Alright, so we got our new control here. I'm going to remove that. So I'm going to go ahead and set it. It's only going to fit in here in one way. I'm going to go ahead and set it down in place. So that's in place. I'm going to take that cover that I removed with the 2 screws, and that's only going to fit in one way as well. So that's in position, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten the 2 screws down. So that's in there now. Now I can connect our wiring. So I'm going to grab our harness. Of our string relief that we removed first. I'm going to slide that down like so. And I said that all the plugs, the connections were different sizes, so you can't mix them up. So everything's connected. Now when I go to slide it back, to put it back, there's a slot, there's another plastic cover almost that goes over here, and it's got slots, and it corresponds with this, and with the same thing on the bottom, so it just slides into place. And then once it gets all the way back, there's that tab that I had to push down that will lock it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and set our board in position, and then just slide it straight back, and then we'll hear a snap, and that's how I know I got it back all the way. Now we can go ahead and replace this panel here. Alright, it's going to tuck behind this here, and then the lower portion tucks behind here. Now you want to be careful, this is pretty sharp. So we're going to go ahead and put it in position, get it lined up, and we'll grab our 4 screws that we had taken out earlier. I'm going to leave that one a little loose just so I can line up the opposite side and make sure I have the ability to maneuver the panel if need be. And I tighten up my last screw that I left loose. Alright, now at this point we can go ahead and plug the unit back in. We'll have to get around to the front side and program the computers to sync together. Alright, let me go ahead and plug the unit back in. And now I can go ahead and push it back, get it in position. That's what I'm going to do now. Alright, we're going to go ahead and program the boards. So I have my instructions here to show me how to do that. I'm going to open up the refrigerator. Make sure our door doesn't hit anything. And you can see on the display here, it's PE0 and then 3 zeros. Basically it means that it's a program entry is what it's set up for. Alright, so the first step this has to do is I have to locate the code, which is on the model number sticker, which happens to be right here. And our code is 0501. So that's the first step. Then it says that I'm going to have to press and hold the door alarm keypad, which is right here. And then press and hold the freezer temperature down keypad. So that was our PE. So alright, there we go. So now we finally made it. Didn't recognize the first control it. So now we're ready to program. So we're going to press our refrigerator temperature up. See how the digit over here is changing? Well, we still need it to be 0501. So you see over here the digit is changing each time I press that. So we're going to find out how the decimal point indicates the select digit. Press the freezer temperature up keypad to select the next digit. So freezer temperature up. Our decimal point moves over here. That's the one we're going to change. We need that to be 5. Going to press the freezer temperature up to move it to the next key. We need that to be 0, so that's fine. Freezer temperature up again over here. We need it to be number 1. Press it once. So we now have the program entry 0501, which matches our code on our model number tag. So next thing it says, once the desired program code is displayed, press and hold the freezer temperature down keypad until this begins to freeze. So I'm going to hold. Okay, so we just locked in our code by holding down the freezer cold button until it flashes. Next step is basically you just close the door. We're just going to push in the light switch. So now the unit is turned on. It's got the freezer at 0 and headed at 38, which are the recommended settings. But it's going to read the real temperature, 64 and 77. The refrigerator compartment is 77 because it's been opened. And within a few minutes, the compressor will kick on. There's a delay built into this, so they won't turn on immediately. So we're going to go ahead and close the refrigerator door and give it time to turn on and start cooling. Thank you for watching another quality in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.